Jordan Brand has officially grinded its way over to the skateboard scene. Or has it? Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we've got an interesting one because it's a shoe that just kind of came out of nowhere. This is the Jordan Session. There are two colorways available right now. We have one of them. And on the Nike.com website and product description, it specifically states that it is skate inspired. But is Jordan Brand making a skate division? That's something that's like really interesting to think about. It seems as if they're doing that, but they don't want to say it. Now, before we deep dive into these guys right here, I just wanted to let you guys know that we do have some brand new WearTesters merch available. So if you were interested in supporting the channel, all you got to do is head over to SeriousplayerOnly.com, where we have collaborated on some more performance apparel items. There are two performance shirts available, one in white and yellow, one in black and red. They both state testing in progress, something that we clearly state on our Instagram page every time we post a pic of us testing in progress. But again, if you wanted to support the channel outside of just liking, watching, and subscribing, head over to SeriousplayerOnly.com. Links down below in the description box, and we thank you in advance. Now, with all that being said, this is the box for the Jordan Session shoe. It's a really interesting box. It doesn't give me skate vibes, it gives me surf vibes. You know, like this kind of like a surfboard feel, but this is a brand new box, a brand new logo. Are they making a skate division? This looks like that. Jordan Brand is not new to the skate scene, or at least not new to paying tribute to it. They've also paid tribute to this skate scene with the Air Jordan 1. The Air Jordan 1 Low Fat, to be specific, was one of their first ones where they converted the Air Jordan Low into a, I guess, fat model, but fat with a PH, not a F, which is supposed to be cool, I guess. It was back then. But anyways, the tongue was fat. The collar area, or the collar lining, was also a little bit puffier than usual. Nothing else was really changed about the shoe, but they were basically pointing towards their old skate roots all the way back in the 1985 era. Fast forward to 2008, and they released, very much under the radar, the Jordan Flip Side. This was also not touted as a skate shoe, but it was a skate shoe. It was really dope. Believe it or not, the Air Jordan 1 is on the top 10 list for best skate shoes of all time, a list that actually has 3 basketball shoes on there: the Converse Chuck Taylor, as well as the Adidas Superstar. But yeah, so skating and Jordan have, I wouldn't say been synonymous, but they've definitely been intertwined throughout the whole history of the brand. So doing something like this doesn't seem super far-fetched. It just would be nice if they would actually commit. Now, I will say that the shoe is like okay, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that this is a great product. I think that it's an average product. I think for the price, it should be better. There should be at least some cushion in here, but we'll get into that. I will say the materials and the overall looks are definitely solid. They remind me of some like 90s Vans or Airwalks and stuff like that, just that really like thick, puffy aesthetic. Something that's definitely coming back. It just feels like that they, being Jordan Brand, could have done a lot more. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. They have so much technology, or at least footwear cushioning technology at their disposal, and it's like, why didn't you use at least one thing? So what we do have here is a herringbone traction equipped outsole. It is herringbone from top to bottom, which is great. When we're talking about gripping the board, anything will pretty much grip it because the grip tape is doing most of the work. However, when we're talking about kicking and pushing, meaning when your foot is on the floor, not on the board, that's where the traction comes into play. So this should be solid. It's also done up in gum rubber. Both colorways seem to be adopting the same exact outsole tooling, and gum rubber is just a little bit tackier. It's also like really, I wouldn't say intertwined with skating, but like it's heavily used in skate shoes. At least it was. Now moving on up, the midsole is interesting because it's a semi-cup sole, basically from this kind of like heel line, whatever you want to call that, like weird little dip, the thing that looks like the Jordan logo that's on the box. From that line to the toe is all cup sole, meaning that it's all solid rubber. But from that line back, and that does include both the medial and lateral side, so this entire kind of like U shape right here, that's all foam, and it's just basic foam. There's no zoom in it, there's no air in it, it's not Cushlon, it's not anything special, it's just foam. And if you don't believe me, all you gotta do is look at the back or bottom of the product boxes. Right under here, it tells you what's in the shoes, and I won't say specifically that it tells you, it just says that there is stuff in there. So if you're looking at this specific box, it just has the copyrighted branding on there, so you're gonna see like swooshes, Jumpmans, things like that. But if you compare it to a different shoes box, a shoe that actually has air tech in it, you'll see all the different varieties of air that Nike and Jordan Brand use on the bottom of the box, because they're covering all their bases. And that's just letting you know that there is an air-based product in the shoe. It's not saying which one, it's just saying that there's air in there. So for this shoe, there's nothing. Now, I will say that that back foam is comfortable. It's just encased in rubber, dude. And on top of that, I can't actually tell if the foam goes into the cup sole or not. I would assume that it would. If it doesn't, that's like a huge missed opportunity, but that's kind of the way that Nike SBs are right now, at least the Nike SB Dunks, where they've changed up the tooling so that the traditional Dunk midsole or cup sole, even though it looks much like a regular Dunk, it's actually hollow inside, and inside of it is an EVA wedge. So that's what I'm assuming is done here, is that this is going through the midsole, at least a little bit of it, for some additional comfort. But other than that, there's not much in there. The insole is this piece of right here. It's kind of glued in, so I didn't want to completely rip it out. It is removable, you just got to be patient. So what I would recommend is taking that insole out and swapping it out for one that does have a little bit more cushion. If you wanted something really basic that's not going to alter the fit, I would recommend the Move Baseline insole. But if you wanted something a little bit more substantial and also has a little bit of a spring back effect to it, this Eris insole made out of Pebax and carbon is awesome. Now the upper is where I feel like the shoe really shines, not design wise, but just material wise. I'm not going to say that everything here is premium, but it does feel very skate-esque or skate-friendly. If you're comparing this to modern skate shoes, it definitely feels in line with some of that, but with a slightly nicer touch. So this particular colorway is all suede. I really do like the way that it all feels. I think that it'll skate nicely as well. How durable it'll be is another question. I know that, you know, skate shoes get thrashed pretty quickly. As soon as you do a couple of ollies and kick flips, you're pretty much grinding the fuck out of the upper and that front area of the tooling. So it'll be interesting to see how these hold up and stuff like that. But if I were to compare this to something, at least something modern, the New Balance Numeric 933 is fairly similar. I will say that that shoe has a lot more tech as far as like cushioning and plates and things like that, but the upper is what I'm talking about. Like that upper had a really nice upper similarly to these. So if you have those and you skate in them, whatever that durability is, it's going to be similar here. One of the nicer things though is that they did come with an extra set of laces, so that's always great to have on a skate shoe. I don't like the laces that they come with though, like this checkered, like this just looks goofy. You know what I mean? It doesn't even match the shoe. That's also my other complaint, but I'll get into that in a second. But so I don't love the laces. I do like the white ones that they come with, so that I think it's a much cleaner look. However, it doesn't match the shoe much. Like, I don't know. This tooling that they're using right here is the same exact tooling as the other colorway, which is like a black base colorway, and it works well for those because, you know, they're all black. So yeah, but with this one, it's like we got to make a lot of this tooling molds to make our quotas and make the cost efficient and all that stuff, and so we need another colorway to slap on there. And it's like, why this one? Like, you couldn't have done a white pair, or I don't know, something else, gray, something that would have matched this look a little bit more. I just think that this, like, we got like 4 colors on here. That's not even including the white yet. And it's not like it all flows together either. It's like very choppy looking. So if, again, we're talking about like, is Jordan Brand making a skate division? I don't know. It really does look and feel like that, but it feels like they're like half-assing it. It's like they won't commit, but they want to do it. And it's just like, bro, just do it. The overall design, it's okay. I don't think that it's anything crazy. I do like the toe. It reminds me of the Agassiz and stuff like that. Also reminds me a lot of New Balance products too. They have this weird little toe bump thing or hump. I don't know, this design. You got a couple of little Jordan isms in there and stuff. If you are looking at that toe down view, right at the base of the lace, it looks like the Air Jordan 14 with the little mini logo right there. You have pointed out that the side panel reminds me of the Jumpman Pro. I see what she's saying. It just, I don't know. It just doesn't look exactly like that, but it looks very Team Jordan-esque. So in that sense, like, I get it. And then you do have a couple of synthetic leather patches. They're basically right here at the heel. They're showing the heel logos. It's also for protection on heel flicks and things. And then we also have the synthetic at the top of the eyelets. I assume that's for durability, even though most of your wear and tear is going to be down in this zone, although it could be up here depending on if you do a lot of heel flicks. The rear of the shoe is interesting. Kind of reminds me of like the Kobe 9 with the stitches, or the Achilles injury, but this one's clearly not pointing towards that. There are 6 dots there. Is that for Jordan's 6 rings? It's possible. The tongue is nice and puffy. Something that's missing though is a prominent logo. Like, there is no branding on this tongue whatsoever. The only branding that you do have is right here at the heel, that little tiny one in the toe that blends into the upper, and then on the bottom of the shoe. It's really weird, you know what I mean? When you're talking about Nike SB, there's swooshes everywhere. And then when you're talking about Jordan and its SB products or skateboarding products, the other ones, obviously, because they're retros, you know what they are, but like, you would just see this and not know that this was a Jordan, you know? Like, you would just be like, is that a new pair of Vans? Like, what are those. So I think that's missing. I think you need some branding there. In terms of fit, they do fit true to size, so whatever you typically wear, that is what I would get. Right now, I've only seen them online at select retailers as well as the Nike website. Nike has both colorways available, but they are slowly like coming into stores and stuff. I've seen them in smaller boutiques like locally here at Phenom. Then I've also seen them online listed at big box stores like WSS. So you can always like check there and see if they're available in a store near you if you wanted to actually check them out before buying them. But with all that said, what is today's user submitted question of the day?
If you could see any band or musician live, who would it be? And they can be dead or alive.
Can you go first?
Sure. I've been very fortunate where I've seen a lot of artists. So I decided to go with one that I never saw, but I would have to time travel for mine.
Can I guess?
Who?
Is it the Beatles?
Yes.
No.
I would want to go back to Beatlemania.
I don't like the Beatles.
I know, but
I know that you know this. But
I know.
Yeah.
But I would.
And I'm sorry for all of you people that think that the Beatles look great and stuff, but like I'm not on that wavelength. I was thinking along the same lines though, but just for more of my era. Like I would love to see peak Michael Jackson. I think that would be crazy. I wouldn't want to be in that crowd. Like I'd want to be there, but like I wouldn't, like it was much like the Beatles, wild. People fainting, crying, just trying to, you know what I mean? Like I don't like the craziness. I just want to see the person, you know what I mean? Or the performers. If I was gonna go like something different, maybe the Temptations. And if I was gonna go with something somewhat modern, either Boyz II Men or New Edition, I think that they would be fun to watch.
You could have just watched Boyz II Men. They were here.
No. No.
I didn't want to go, but you could have gone.
Not Boyz II Men today. Boyz II Men of peak Boyz II Men.
So you would time travel?
I suppose, but like I lived through that. I would like to see them as they were as Boyz II Men. Same thing with like New Edition, although they have two eras, but not their older era. Even though that was good too, but like I'd like to see them as younger kids and stuff. I think that would be fun. They got that Jackson 5 vibe, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, and then the Temptations are just classic, so I love that. But what about you guys? Any artist, dead or alive, who would you like to see and why? On top of all of that, what do you think about these guys right here, the Jordan Session? Do you even like stuff like this where it's like, yeah, we're paying tribute to this stuff, but like, you know, you can get better stuff from other brands. That's my whole point. It's like, why do this? You could legitimately get something from DC or Globe right now, Etnies, S, any skate brand, and it'd be better than this. It's just that this is a Jordan. But is that important in skate? I don't think so. But sound off below and let us know. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. We'll catch you guys in the next one. So until then, you guys have a good one.